What's going on, y'all? This is Cruz with Cruz Control Radio, and we're here at home helping our music evolve. Today, we got a special guest in the building, all the way from the Bronx. We got Samantha Isabel in the building. What's going on?
What is going on? Glad to be here. Excited to be here. This is exclusive.
For sure.
This is my first interview, my first podcast, and I really feel honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Nah, for sure. Definitely. So I want to let people also know we got a co-host here.
Yo, let's get it.
We got Virtues, a.k.a. Nate.
Yes,
Make
sir.
sure y'all tap in. So we're gonna be bringing them in here a lot. So we seen you at the Sky Deck with Zoe at his performance, and we was like, yo, them two motherfuckers look like somebody.
We were on the stage together, like
It's
all
like-
going
Just
off.
started goofing around.
Crazy.
So they look like somebody. So definitely want to tap in to get to know more about what you got going on and everything. So like I said, you're from the Bronx. Like, what brought you to Nashville?
Yes, so coming from the Bronx, it's really hectic. It's real crazy. New York, period, is crazy.
Yeah.
And I honestly felt like it was tackling with my mental health. I felt really anxious. I felt like I wasn't, being around nature, which I feel like we're supposed to be around nature.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it wasn't for me. So it took a lot to get to Tennessee, but Zoe, he came to Tennessee first, and I was like, let me just tag along. You feel me?
So you knew some people out here?
Yeah, so
Bet.
he has family here, and I know Zoe, so he came here as well.
Cool.
And so I was like, let me just make a change. I feel like God was just putting in my heart, like, maybe this is the time for you to get out of New York and go somewhere where you feel much more at peace. And now I'm here in the Music City with you guys.
Right.
So I feel blessed that it all works out the way that it really had to. And
What was kind of like your upbringing in the Bronx?
So I'm Puerto Rican. You feel
Shout
me?
out to the Puerto Ricans in the building.
Yeah, shout out to the Puerto Ricans.
Go hard.
Right, we go hard, low key. I'm not gonna hold you. Puerto Rican woman from the Bronx is like
That's scary.
That's a holy trinity
That's
right
scary.
there, right?
That's scary.
So
You a wild man.
right, you gotta have a lot of patience with us. But nah.
Right.
Growing up, I was really like with my mom a lot, and my grandmother really raised me. Shout out to you. Shout out to Lela. She taught me Spanish, you know what I'm saying? We was really into Bible study. But I had a really close bubble that was around me. Like, you hear a lot of people say, like, you're from New York, you're never gonna leave New York. And for me, it was like being from the Bronx, I never really left the Bronx. So a lot of what I'm doing now is actually venturing out and actually getting the experience that I feel like I've never had before.
Right. Wow.
So like you guys mentioned, like coming to Tennessee, that's a big deal. You feel me?
That's
like
a major step.
Exactly.
It's a major step in any career you have. I
Exactly.
feel like moving anywhere, but then moving to like a big city where there's a lot of like content creators, there's a lot of models and
Exactly.
stuff.
Everyone's
There's a big
here for
network.
opportunity.
For
Put it like,
sure.
not opportunity, but like, because I came here from Pennsylvania, like I was telling you off camera, for a job. And then I ended up teaching myself how to do all this shit. I wasn't doing any of this before I came here.
Right.
So coming here is like, you end up being around people that inspire you to be like, yo, like, I got to get it. Like, I'm not in my hometown. Like, I got to get it.
Exactly. It's really up to me. And like me and Zoe was actually having this conversation, and he always tells me, like, you are the 5 people that you are the most around. Like, the people that are around you are going to shape you.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't like to admit that, but it's the truth. You know, if you're going to be around bums, you're going to be a bum. If you're going to be around the people that are smarter than you, which is not, it could be uncomfortable, but you have to be around people that are better than you so that you can be better. So that's another reason why I came here.
Yeah, you are who you surround yourself with.
Exactly.
And so being we do see that you're a Twitch streamer, right? Is that true?
Y'all did your research. Yes. Shout out to Twitch. I'm actually doing, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Silent Hill, but that's my favorite game. I'm going to be actually twitching that on October 6th.
Okay.
And I got the pre-release, so I'm going to be playing it a little bit earlier. So if you guys want to tune in.
Is Silent Hill one of like your favorite games?
Yes.
Or? Okay. So did that
Yes.
kind of start you like getting back on Twitch or getting on Twitch or what was that?
So it was actually, shout out to Tiff, my cousin. She's really, really on her PC. Like, she loves gaming. And she was like, yo, you got a lot of followings on Instagram. and on TikTok, so why not do Twitch?
Merge
you feel
'em,
me?
yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
So she put me on, and I loved playing games ever since I was young. Like, it was me and my dad playing games, me and my sister playing games. And I just feel like that's another platform. I like to venture out to different platforms, not just one, to expand my audience and to just show people a different side of me. Like, on Instagram, I don't really talk too much. I do like a lot of reels, which I'm trying to change. But I feel like on Twitch, you really get to see me talking and laughing and making jokes, which is something I don't think a lot of people see.
You're a little bit more vulnerable,
Exactly.
right? And your
Yeah.
fans, you have fans, right? Like you have fans that like can tap in and see this side of
Exactly.
you, right?
And that's the thing, like when you're able to have that personality, that's when like when we first met, I was like, you have like a good personality for, and then I think you were talking to one of my other partners and you told him that you do streaming, and I was like, well, that makes sense because you have like the personality for like live streaming.
Right.
So like even like you mentioned TikTok, do you do like lives on TikTok as well?
You know, you guys are gonna be disappointed.
make
I don't
money
really
over
be
there.
on TikTok. I feel like a lot of my audience is on Instagram. I'm trying to tap into TikTok, but I think it's really about posting more and like changing the algorithm, but I haven't tapped in as much as I wanted to.
Have you collaborated with anybody big, or is there any like? Who is
But
like
I
your
would
dream?
like to.
Yeah, who are your dream collaborations?
Ooh, my dream collaborator. Ooh, I'm not even sure. I'm honestly not even sure.
I would have thought like a fashion. Like you got really good fashion. You got
Thank
the hat and
you.
everything. So like
My favorite artist is The Weeknd. So if there's anybody that I would love to tap in with music-wise or any sort of like content creation, if that was ever possible, would it be The Weeknd? He inspires me musically,
Right.
and I just love like his flow and everything of that nature. But I haven't really thought about industry-wise who I would tap into. I really like Jeffree Star. He's a makeup artist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He just did a song with like Yellow Wolf and stuff.
Yes,
Oh,
he's
word?
getting back into his music. He started off
Yeah.
as a musician, and then he just took over the makeup industry and conquered it all.
That's the gay dude,
So,
right? He's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, okay, yeah.
He's mad cool.
yeah,
So,
I think he had damn, who was it with?
Shane Dawson.
No, he was telling somebody, he was exposing somebody for fucking with him.
Oh shit.
I forget.
Industry shit.
Yeah.
Like an NFL player.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like
yeah,
messing
yeah.
around with.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That's how I
loves
know.
stirring the pot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's funny as shit.
but
Gotta
I really
keep the business alive
yes,
sometimes, you know?
yes, and he's just a big makeup artist. So that's somebody I would aspire to like work with in the future
That's
for
fine.
sure. Yeah.
So being down here in Nashville and now that you're out here, you out of nowhere, that it looks like to me, you drop your first single and you got an amazing voice, and it's like, why the fuck do you only have one out? What's going on?
All right, let's get into it. So for a while, we actually made Celebrate You 2 years ago.
Wow.
2 years ago, and man, I just wanted that song to be out so bad, but it's not just my song. It's,
Right.
you know, I'm with a team, so we all have to come to a mutual consensus. So I'm not, you know, life happens, people go through certain things, which pushed it back a lot. And then out of nowhere, I'm like, you know, we're sitting on money right now. We're sitting on our careers right now. This song is a hit, and I don't say that because it's me. I say it because this song is, in a way, a refresher for a lot of people. You see a lot of, not to shit on other like genres and stuff like that, but you see a lot of like sexualization and like talking about money and like, artists talking about things that they don't have. I feel like it's time to put out a song to actually thank the people that you love, actually give recognition to people who you never really thank or show
Talk
appreciation
about your stuff.
for.
Exactly, too.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I feel like this was a song that the world needed to hear, and I hope that if the song becomes big, which I hope it will, that it changes the course of music back to what it is now and just more positivity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it has a good, strong, positive message too. Like
Thank you.
even the vibe and the bop of the song, it was like I was telling you off camera, like that's a perfect song to pitch for sync. Like that could
Right.
be on like a new phone commercial or something
Yeah.
like it.
Good
it's,
ad placement.
yeah, something like on
yeah.
a trailer or like like bro, it just like
You
it just
can play it in
sounds
church.
Yeah.
like it
that's why I
sounds
love
good.
It. It's
yeah.
literally for everybody, and I don't
Exactly.
like, and I in the future, because this is my first single, but moving forward, I don't want to make a song that's specifically targeted for one audience. I want to make songs that are for everybody. You should wake up in the morning and hear Celebrate You and want to celebrate life.
Right.
You know, that's what I want. I want people to feel much more of that nice, higher, positive frequency instead of hearing all that music that actually fucks with your frequency and, you know, impacts the rest of your day. And people don't realize it, but music does affect and change your thoughts,
Yeah,
your
music is
subconscious,
spiritual.
and how
And
you
it's
feel.
emotional. And
Exactly.
And a lot of people, they feel like, because I asked somebody this question before, and because they were like talking about like, I forget who it was we interviewed, but they were like saying about like shooting somebody, like harming. I forget what it was. It was something about hurting somebody, and I was like, do you think like that your lyrics affect? He's like, nah, it's just a song. But it's like, bro, somebody's listening to this shit,
Right.
and taking it. They're feeling the energy that you put into the song.
For
So
sure.
it's
If I'm
very
listening,
important.
if I'm paying attention to the lyrics, they're damn well listening to that.
Of
Yeah,
course.
definitely. Even
Of
if you're not
course.
consciously thinking it, it's
You're
still in the back of your
saying
mind.
it.
What
Yeah.
messages
Your
would
tongue
you?
is strong.
What message? What kind of message would you convey in your music if you were to do it like full time? Like,
Yeah, so I think I want to, I know that I want to focus on just like loving life. And I think appreciation is good to start off, but definitely like loving life and making music. Like everybody loves Black Eyed Peas, you feel me? Like that song, I Got a Feeling. I want to make music that makes people like, oh, like I get to wake up today and I live another day.
Right.
And this is a blessing. I want to make music like that.
encouraging.
There you go. Encouraging, motivational, and just pushing forward. Again, like frequency in the music is so real. And although we don't see it, it's a reality. And that's the type of music that I want to make.
People like hearing. I was just in a session the other day, and they were like, man, I'm kind of tired of writing the same old song. You know, everything's kind of sounding the same. You know,
For real.
And so we just got down to like a real just blatant topic of just like us going to the store and finding, you know, like something wrong with the aisle. Like there's these little moments that people are like, oh, I actually like that song. And it could be something stupid.
Like something so
Exactly.
relatable.
So relatable. You're
Exactly.
like, I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
For sure.
So
sure.
now that you got that song, I was gonna ask, are those two artists that are in New York? And do you plan on like performing this song? Like what is something that the people can expect from this record?
For sure. So definitely much more performances. And to answer the first question, yes, they're both located in New York, which kind of makes it a little bit tough to, you know, with like the promo and having much more meetings. But I'm adamant on making sure that I travel back and forth to make the song the best that it can be. And what's to be expected of me is definitely more performances. Before this song was out, I actually did my first performance ever. Like this song is making me do a lot of firsts, which is another reason why I love it. But yeah, I did my first performance at Day Summit. And we did it twice, actually, yeah. And it was really good. I don't feel nervous. I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel scared.
Can you perform that live? Is that what I'm hearing?
Performed it live.
What's
with the
Day
two
Summit?
people.
What's Day Summit?
So Day Summit is something that's done every year by an organizer. I forgot his name, but he does it every single year, and he just brings people from all over the U.S.
Wow.
And they all come together. Like Zoe was a part of it too, and they perform. And they're around like different executives. They're around different DJs. They have the chance to pretty much showcase their work.
That's fun.
Big old
So,
networking.
yeah.
That sounds like heck
Exactly.
yeah. That's dope.
So people usually pay for it, but I sent my song to the individual that runs the entire thing. He was like, "Yo, just pull up.
Wow.
Like, just pull up. You don't gotta pay for nothing. Just pull up. I love the
telling you.
song. Like, people
That's what
gotta
happens
hear
when
it.
people fuck with you.
There you
know?
go.
I'm telling
Exactly.
you, that song is you talking about a celebrate.
Celebrate You, yeah.
Yeah, that's that's the only one. But yeah.
That's the only one, guys.
So now that you have that out, is there any plans of like, you know, you locking in like, okay, like studio session, I'm getting in my bag, EPs, singles, albums,
For
like what's
sure.
going on now?
We actually got a studio in my crib.
Oh, that's
so
fine.
Everything's right there. And I feel like it's important that I had that in the crib as well, like having my own studio. I don't like to feel rushed. I don't like to rush my artistry. And, you know, sometimes I just like to pull up to the mic, pull up with the headset on, and just focus on the beat and take my time. I feel like in the studio, I feel rushed. And, like,
Yeah.
you know what
Like
I
when
mean?
you're
And I
paying for
also,
time type shit.
exactly.
There has to be like two different things. Like if you're if you're writing a song, definitely take a day for that.
Yeah.
If you're recording a song, take a day for that.
Yes.
Split those times up.
Yeah.
You can have a good time with both of them.
Exactly.
Because honestly, what I could say, because I was an artist before all of this, and I still like dabble, but like with having your own home studio though, and I'm speaking for myself, I got too comfortable because I know it's like, oh, I can just go record right there. That I ended up not recording for so long.
I'm not gonna lie, same. Like it's a comfort thing, and I also am in the process of like looking for beats. So I think that's what's hindering me a little bit as well.
Yeah.
But music coming for sure. It's just about finding the right beat that resonates with myself. But I also have to remind myself, like as an artist, you make the beat as best as it can be with your lyrics and just how you're like flowing on the beat as well.
Right.
So definitely for sure.
That creative process is different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got a bunch. We're locked in with a lot of producers, especially
Yeah,
like
we gotta tap in, bro.
like one sitting next to you. He's a producer. He makes hella beats.
Hey,
He-
stop
we tapped
playing.
in. Yeah.
Nah, he plays every instrument. What do you play? Like
Just everything with strings, anything that can make sound, I can play.
Yeah.
That's wavy.
You know, like Prince was a huge inspiration of mine because
word.
he
Why-
could just
why is
play
that?
everything. He could play everything. You know, he started from the ground up, and like all those albums that you hear Prince
Yeah.
by himself,
Yeah.
all made by him in the studio.
Oh wow.
So that speaks volume to people like you too that are
For
creative.
sure.
Like, I want to do this beat by myself. You know, I want to make this from the ground
For
up.
sure.
So that's
Yeah.
cool.
For sure.
Yeah. So
I was just gonna mention too. We were talking about like getting a keyboard because
Mhm.
I just want to make my own beats. I'm sorry.
You
I want to
good.
make my own beats as well. Like on the keyboard, there's so many like different instruments you could just like mess around with.
Right.
So that's something I want to do as well.
So you want to be a producer?
Yeah. I
Everything.
feel like I know myself enough to know like, yo, this sounds lit. Like this
Yeah.
is the beat that sounds popping, or like this goes with this. I have a
Yo.
natural ear for that.
I can see you being the hardest producer out of the Bronx.
Stop
Female producer.
it.
That'd
You?
be crazy.
Right?
That'd be
Y'all
crazy.
heard
What
it
would be
here
your producer
first.
name? What would be your
Yo.
producer name?
Yeah.
Lil
Yeah.
Sammy.
Little Bronx.
DJ
straight
Izzy.
up.
Bronx.
Or Big Bronx. I don't know.
I was about to say don't because then they're gonna call you Lil B, and you know who
Yeah,
Lil
we
B
don't
is.
need that. Nah, I don't know who Little B is.
You don't know who the bass guy
Nah,
is?
I
Oh,
don't.
man.
You don't know who bass
I'm,
You
guy
know
is?
who
I'm
bass
still
guy.
learning this music stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
He
That's
was like a
hilarious.
meme before it was
Yeah,
a meme.
yeah, no, he's
Dead ass.
he was like one of
Put
the
his picture
viral.
here.
He was like one of the viral people on World Star Hip Hop when it was like lit back
Got
then.
you.
But
Got
yeah,
you.
you
Lil
probably don't
B.
know how. Well, can I ask you how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 25 years old.
Okay, yes, it was probably way before your
Yeah, I'm a
time.
baby. Sorry,
Probably like when you
guys.
was like 11, we was like 18, like, listening to Bass God. He sucks, but like he's
I'm
cool as
crying.
shit. but-
I'm gonna have to listen in.
Nah,
for
don't waste
sure.
your time.
Do not waste your time.
Nah, shout out
You
Lil-
got way better things
shout
to
out-
do.
Shout out Little B,
Shout out Lil
but
B.
not today.
Oh, Nate, look.
5 seconds.
All right, let's take a break. What does it
Big
say?
Bronx though.
Watch it. The light about to fall on your back.
You got it. Boom.
What happened? What was it saying?
Oh,
It's all good. We back. I think it stops at 15 minutes. Then that's what I'm seeing.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at Little Bill. Little-
Say
But
Little
yeah,
Bill.
my DJ name would be Big Bronx. I
Mhm.
take the Little Bronx back because everybody likes to minimize the Bronx, and
Mm.
I love the Bronx.
Why?
Sorry.
That's where hip hop like started. Why?
Come
Is,
on, right?
so what's like going on? Why you feel like people like the shit? What's the poppin' borough right now to where you feel like? Because I thought it was Queens
Ooh,
where
this
people
is-
was like, Queens.
It took me a long time to say this, but I really like Brooklyn.
Brooklyn
gonna
is the
hold
best
you.
borough right now.
The best borough is always gonna be the Bronx. for
Oh,
me.
I'm saying
that's
like
for me.
I'm saying like outside, like how because you said like people look down on the Bronx.
Uh-huh.
So like, what borough is looking down on the Bronx? All
I
of
feel
them?
like they all looking down on the Bronx, and I'm not sure why. I feel like there's so much stigma around the Bronx, but for me, similar to like a phoenix, like we just rise from the ashes, and we improvise on everything, and we're just a big family. I'm not sure what people got to say about the Bronx, but I feel like we're just survivors. You feel me? Even myself, like growing up in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like all the things that are not normal to a regular kid is so normal to me.
Right.
But yeah, I just feel like it's based on the strength that we have in the Bronx. And I feel like it's our history and just being where we're at now. I feel like there's so much more that we can do better. And it does come back to taking accountability for what you do and what you have control over. Like how many times are we going to blame everybody else for our problems? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think it's just about like the strength that we have and what I've seen growing up and how we've just come to the place that we are. It's
That's
much more
hard.
peaceful.
So your
than it was
family's out
before.
there? Your family lives
Yeah.
out there? Okay, cool.
Yeah, my mom is there, my dad is there. I have minimal family in PR, but everybody's in the Bronx, so that's like where my heart is.
Have they ever been to Nashville?
Nah,
You the first.
I'm the first. People thought I was crazy.
I was
They're
gonna
like,
say, were they like, what the? Why are you moving to
yeah,
Nashville?
Such a
People
random
were
place.
pissed off, man. People were pissed off that I made this move, but it's because it's not something that people in our family do. So I'm like
Yeah.
a rebel. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm like the one who takes risks, but you can't know what's on the other side if you don't take that first foot forward. And
Yep.
I'm not really scared of change. I love change
Yeah.
because after change is a blessing. So
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
and that's
Mom, that bro.
and that's the thing is really just taking that first step because I literally like when I moved out here, it was like my family was already scattered. Like my mom's in Florida, my sister's in Florida, my brother's in North Carolina. Like everybody just
Right.
split up. Once my mom sold the crib, it's like we out of here.
yeah.
So when you
yeah.
come down here though, it's like my first introduction to Nashville was like it's hella white people here. And I was like, Jesus Christ, what is going on? Like, what? But that was only because I was like in a tourist mindset where I was only on Broadway.
Right.
So then, you know, I got outside of that, started like finding people, and it's like, okay.
There's a lot much more Hispanics than you think.
Yeah, but they're not Puerto Rican. I'll tell you that.
I'm not. They're not Puerto Rican.
I feel like you and one other person I met I haven't met many Puerto Ricans out here.
Yeah, when you said you was Puerto Rican, I was hyped.
Yeah,
that's like, yo, my family here. Like.
Because like out here, it's not normal, but like up
it's
north,
really not.
Everybody's Puerto Rican, Dominican.
Yup.
But down here, it's like fucking Ecuador, Mexican, Venezuela.
Yep.
Like
shout out to Tex-Mex people.
Yeah, shout out. He's Mexican. You're Mexican, right? Yeah,
I'm Mexican.
I love Mexican food, man.
Yeah, nah.
Like that's top.
They don't do
top
good
number
Mexican
3.
out here.
Yeah, nah, they don't do
Word.
good. They make good brisket.
One good Mexican restaurant spot that we could go to right now.
I've been here for 8 years. I give you one. It's called Cilantro's. Shout out Cilantro's in Nashville.
I feel like we went there before, so I feel like we did, and I'm not gonna lie, it was fire.
It was fire, right?
It was fire,
good chimichangas, good margaritas.
Yeah, the margaritas was popping.
That's funny as shit.
For sure.
So damn, what's that place called? Is it Applebee's? You ever been to Applebee's?
Of course, I've been to Applebee's.
Did you ever have the dollar margaritas there?
Yes.
How do you feel about those?
Strong and beautiful. I don't care if it's $1, a penny. If that shit hit, bro.
Yeah, no, I
love
went there
it.
one time for my homies was like, you know, and this was like back, and it was like, yo, bro, we going to Applebee's. I'm like, it's fucking lit.
You know you're getting fucked up.
I'm getting dollar
Yeah,
margaritas.
that's what I'm saying. You don't gotta pay too much, but you still gonna be bent. So it's a win-win. Like,
yeah. So what is something that you would tell somebody like a younger content creator that sees you pop in, they see you with all your fans on Twitch, they see you, they tap into your lives. What was something you would tell them to maybe getting started? Or
first things first is always be yourself. I'm not the person to lie. I don't like to create a persona. That's why my name is Samantha Isabel. I don't have a shout out to the people who have their stage names, but I want to come as myself, and I feel like everybody should be themselves. You don't gotta fake it. You don't gotta, excuse my French, but you don't gotta suck dick to get to the top. You don't gotta do anything that you are not.
Tell Cruz that. He needs to hear
I don't suck. What you mean? What the fuck you mean?
Got him.
You don't have to do it.
Listen,
right?
nah,
Cruz, you don't have to do it, bro. She's telling you.
Nah.
I'll make sure I don't.
You know, we were on an interview one time, and they called Cruz P. Diddy one time. Do you remember that?
Who I gotta fight?
Oh yeah, because they were saying like the business side of it. This was before the diddler was a thing.
Yeah, they were like,
you gotta give it like. Listen, you gotta give it to Disney. I said Disney. You gotta give it.
Well, they
Disney
a little
is
foul
another.
too.
Yeah, let's not.
It'd be some
Disney a little
subliminal
foul, too.
shit.
Disney
Like,
a little kind of whatever, right? But you gotta give it to Diddy, like business wise, like you know what I mean. But with everything that's going on, I mean, I'm not sure. That's another topic.
Yeah,
but you gotta give it to him business wise. You know what I mean, like. But yeah, I'm not with none of that other stuff.
yeah, so stay away from the diddlers.
Yeah.
Stay away from the diddlers is in conclusion, right?
Have you ever had the need to have 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
No. That on its own, like they talking about there's drugs in there and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care if there's drugs in there or not. The fact that you got 1,000 bottles
That's crazy.
of baby oil, like you're bringing a flag in my brain. Like,
And you know what's crazy? And then when we talk about this in our community, it's like they're like, oh, once it's like they're like, oh, first chance you get to bring down a black man, we do that. But it's like, no, like if white people are doing it, we don't. That's not our cult. We don't give a fuck. But it's like when we know it's like our people is the ones that's doing the freak wild shit. Of course we going trip because like, what the fuck are we doing? We don't do that. We punch people for that type of shit. Like what you got? Like so, it's just fucked up to see that. And then now they saying like that he could have had something to do like with both Pac and Biggie's death. Like,
oh, I know. I heard about that. I heard about
Embassy's
that.
crashing down.
Yo.
It's going down. I feel like everything's gonna
Yeah.
change in like the next like 10 years. There's gonna be so many different topics. Just like
Yeah, and-
everything's, it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah, and people are so aware of what's going on, and I'm not sure if it's like an agenda, but isn't it just so weird how like in Hollywood there's so much like pedophilia and stories that don't go to the surface.
right.
That's why I say like don't do anything that you don't want to do. Shit, if I don't make it to wherever I feel like I want to make it because I'm not taking certain, like I'm not doing the things that feel right in my spirit, then I could just be chilling right here, right now.
Right.
I'm not going to do anything, and you shouldn't do anything that you do not want to do when it comes to your dreams. Just work hard, and it will be recognized.
That's a message because a lot of people get out of character, and that's what they would say, like selling your soul. Like people don't know what that means, where it's like you selling your soul
true
as
shit.
like you not going to Satan and say, take my soul. What you're doing is you getting out of your character to receive something back.
Yeah. Satan
And-
can't take a soul that doesn't belong to him. That belongs to God. Satan can't take your soul. He
Shit.
can talk and like whisper like little things in your
But
mind.
you have a choice.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
why God gives you free will. Like, God is a merciful, forgiving, loving God. And he's not going to make you do what you don't feel like you want to do. He's going to only advise you. And that's why I say, like, I always pray. I always keep God in the middle of everything, because without him, I can't get nowhere. But yeah, Satan can't take a soul that don't belong to him, that he didn't
That's
create.
crazy. That's hard.
Low key,
You
right?
got- Nah,
That's true
nah, for
shit.
real, because that's the type of time. That's the type of time I be on, and it's like glad to see that someone younger, a female that understands, like, the power and understanding, like,
Yeah.
you won't shift just because there's a
At
lot
all.
of girls that's prostituting themselves in hip hop right now just to have attention.
Exactly. And
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
like that. Why would we, if I have the not to say, oh, I'm big, like I'm automatically a role model, but like, I'm not going to be here shaking my ass. I'm not going to be here showing my titties, because that's where the attention will come from. It should
Right.
come from my talent.
So yeah, and that brings me to Ice Spice, like how she's shaking her ass, and it looks like she don't even want to do it no more. So
Yo,
it's
I
like,
saw
bro,
that video.
when you make only your ass the topic, or it's like,
That's going to be what you're known for, and I don't want
Yeah.
to be known for that.
Yeah.
Like
I think
said,
the digital footprint too that we're
Yeah.
putting on, like that women are putting in nowadays. It's like, man, you gotta explain this shit to your kids now.
Yeah, yo.
What?
literally,
deadass.
that's
And
crazy.
yeah, no. I do not want to be the woman that's going to be showing my titties, shaking ass, and that's a part of like my persona. That's just not me.
Yeah.
And I'm not really in it for that. I
You
don't
can
really
do
care.
that content. You can like stand for women for that. You know?
That
Like,
ass,
you can
and-
make content or make music for that.
Right. And it's like, I feel like that's just become so normalized. I cannot scroll on Instagram without seeing some butt cheeks. And like,
Bruh.
why is that normal? I don't know. I might sound like a prude, but it's just not normal.
Bro, and once I stop for 3 seconds and be like, okay, she's shaking that thing. Now, next thing you
They got
know,
you.
it's
It's
like
in your
50 videos of
mind.
girls shaking it. I'm like, babe,
Yeah.
listen, I swear to God, I only watched the video for 3 seconds. I don't know why this is my algorithm. I gotta
Yeah,
start
yo.
explaining myself.
For
like,
real. And it's just weird how the algorithm even makes itself. Like,
Yeah.
how does the iPhone or whoever the fuck knows like what I like or what I'm talking about,
Yeah, literally.
But that's a whole nother one. But
That's a rabbit hole.
Yo, I heard a theory like that Apple like looks at your eyes and kind of like traces where you're going, like to really
What?
like fit what works in your algorithm. Yeah.
Oh.
It's a lot.
Oh, so they're like looking. So they see
Like,
your
where does
eyes
your
going
eye
to
go
the
to?
enter or going to the
Yes.
back. They're like,
Yeah.
Yes.
To know where to put like icons probably to tap on.
Yes, and there was this video that I saw. I don't
Insane.
know, like on
That's
your phone.
robotic
You know
shit.
how there's like 2 little dots on your camera on your phone.
Oh, yeah, at
There's
the
one
top.
for your camera, and then there's like another
Audio.
one that like is like an infrared light that
Oh.
clicks
Oh,
every
yeah.
5 seconds, and that's for like your facial recognition, for your
Wow.
Face ID.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
'cause
looking
I
at my
see
phone,
it.
So
like,
they
what the
gonna
fuck?
see me from here. Yeah, look at your
What
phone
the
is like your
fuck?
biggest
They gonna see me a lot, just like,
eye.
They
Just
seen
a
a lot
phone
more
and
than
everything.
everything.
I'm crying.
oh my God. But
Oh, man.
yeah, just wanna last question here, and I know we brushed on it a little bit earlier. Now that you in Nashville, what can the people expect from you going forward? With shows, with music, with how can they contact if they want to collab or
course.
anything like that?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, Samantha Isabel. They'll drop it for you. You guys can email me, but definitely to expect just much more performances, much more music coming down later on the line. We're definitely going to be rock and celebrate you for like the next year. I'm not going to lie.
That's hard.
That's
yeah,
hard.
no, it's a good record.
It's always good to promote your music for like 1 year minimum, 2 years minimum, if anything.
Yeah,
That's good advice.
that's hard.
Yeah, thank you
So,
guys.
Coming from someone that has one song out, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, we doing it big. Go big or go back to the Bronx. That's all I'm
Go
saying.
back to the Bronx.
I heard it here.
You need to make a T-shirt that says that. So make sure y'all tap in, man. Every week, Cruise Control Radio. Shout out to us just winning Best Podcast of the Year at the
Yo,
Nemo
shout out.
Awards. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know they. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't there. We was here with you. You know what I'm
was
saying?
working.
So we
Right.
gonna celebrate later. But
Yeah.
make sure y'all tap in. Follow Samantha Isabel and follow Nate the God.
Shout out to Nate
It's
the
not Nate the guy,
God.
but his virtues. You know what's going on.
Let's
Thank you
go.
guys for having me. You about to break that button.
Good.